Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Halibut Final 2013, the Banana Grabbers from Brisbane versus Supernova, a collection of all-stars from Brisbane and from Melbourne. Reece Stewart receives the first pull, gives it to Sophie Stewart for the Banana Grabbers in yellow. Mel Spalding gets the disc and dishes off to Reece Stewart. Reece recently returned from Toronto, where he played with the Australian Under-23 Open team, the Goannas, all the way to a bronze medal over there. Liam Gillians gets the disc. Break huck to Finn McCarthy-Adams, about 5 metres outside the end zone. He's got Luke Stevens from Victoria on the mark. Dishes off to Mel Spalding. Banana Grabbers slowly pushing through to form a stack in front of the thrower. Gillians behind, being face marked. Just says to Mel, throw it into space. McCarthy-Adams makes a great grab. Throw behind him a little bit, but Stevens can't get through there. Not much activity going on. A nice throw to space from Finn. Liam Gillians with the score. 1-0 to the Banana Grabbers. Clean offence. Reece Stewart with the pull. Reece playing for the Firestorm men's team. Has been in there since before turning 18. Got into it in high school age. Stefan Rapazzo takes the pull, gives to John Greenfield for Supernova. John Greenfield, a mainstay of Australian Ultimate for a long, long time. Goes to Kelly Martin, also a mainstay for a long time. Hucks to Kerry Justice. Kerry Justice with the score. Easy offence for Supernova. 1-1, Abra Garfield with the pull. Jordana Rock picks up, goes to Alex Livingston. Alex, another player who got into the game very young. Started at about 15 or 16 years old. Jordana throws up to Yuli Yeep. Yuli, relatively new player, part of their QUT Ultimate Club, dumps off to Jordana. Rock getting stuck a little bit. Stewart not giving him much, but manages to break away upfield. Looks like we've got a call here. Yeep's defender has been picked, so there's been an obstruction, a screen that stopped her defender from moving with her. Legal in other sports, not legal in Ultimate, so disc is going to go back to Stewart, and it's tapped in here. Swings across to Livingston. You can see Abra Garfield marking Reece Stewart here. That's a matchup they've experienced for a number of years now, playing with and against each other in various teams around southeast Queensland. Liam Gillians gets the disc, throws to Mel Spalding, but the short forehand, turnover. Comes back in with Abra Garfield, who goes infield to Kath Matthews from Victoria. Kath goes short to Greff, or Jeff Grundy, from Brisbane. Probably the best moustache in the sport. Greenfield gets the disc, goes to Garfield, he's alone in the end zone. Too much float, can't bring it down. Banana Grabbers get away with that one there. Stewart brings up the disc, looks off his first couple of cuts. Huge layout D from Min Hein. Min, originally from Canberra I believe, now in WA. Grundy picks it up quickly, goes to Garfield for the score. Supernova with the break, 2-1. Abra Garfield preparing to pull. Several of these Supernova players playing with the Slamtown Flatball Club at Nationals this year. Stefan Rapazzo bringing back a few of his regular teammates there. Reece Stewart again, primary handler for the Banana Grabbers here. Goes across to Rock, who attacks the disc strongly. Goes to Brian Grundy, haven't seen him yet. First touch is a huck. That's a great shot up to Mel Spalding. Mel, an import from the States, as is Brian Grundy. Melissa now living in Mackay. Dumps off to Sophie Stewart. Sophie Stewart throwing that backhand fake and now throws the backhand. Goes to Finn McCarthy-Adams. Finn looking, not happy. Pete Allen on the mark. Pete recently moved to Victoria, so that's a former Queensland matchup, now a bit of an interstate rivalry. Grundy looking back at Stewart, goes past him, goes to Spalding on the swing. Got a foul called by Abra. Looks like he's saying that Reece is pushed off in that dump cut. Reece doesn't look happy about it. Seems they're happy to let it stand. This is going to be boarding with Mel Spalding. Heidi Dukovac on the mark. Heidi, I believe, from South Australia. Spalding getting a bit of trouble. Grundy gives her the bailout cut. Good grab from Stewart. Goes up line to Dan Memel. Memel's first touch of the game. That's a goal. Dan, also an American import from Minnesota, played with Carleton College over in the US. Long-term, strong Ultimate College. Pull from Finn lands in the back corner of the end zone. It's a good result for the Banana Grabbers. Rapazzo goes to Greenfield and across to Luke Stevens. Goes up to Kelly Martin. Plenty of time for that. Looking upfield, Yuli on the mark. Short. Min with the disc. Min not the best of throws. Fortunately, Pete Allen's there to bail her out, as he's done for many people over a long time. Pete throws some swill himself, gets bailed out by Stefano Pazzo, who puts up the disc long to Min. Min's having to wait for it. Good D from Sophie Stewart. Gets in there. Min's happy with that. A little bit of contact, but says it doesn't affect the play. Rock picking up the disc for the banana grabbers. Grabbers slow to form a stack. Rock walks it up, marked by Kath Matthews. Goes to Dan Mammal. Mammal with a drop, uncharacteristic. Usually a very safe pair of hands. Kelly Martin picks it up, goes to Stefano Pazzo straight away. Dave Warren on the mark. Former South Australian, now in Brisbane. Call's been made. Going to be coming back in with Pazzo. Throws the high fake. Warren looks away, but still in Stefan's hands. Count must be getting high by now. Gets a free pass to Pete Allen back behind. Finn with a big straddle on the mark, and Pete steps around that. Goes to John Greenfield. Experienced handler. Throws break to Kath Matthews. Inside out backhand. Lovely shot upwind. And Supernova with the score. Luke Stevens with the pull. Goes outside in. Looking for it to hit and roll. Looks like the banana grabbers are quite happy with that state of affairs. Reece Stewart just lets it go out.
Kelly in!
We have a man look here, but a very poachy man. And gets the turnover. High stall count punt. Kerry Justice with the block. Kerry Justice with the disc here. And alternate for the standby player for the Australian World Games team this year. Goes to Greenfield, throws in front of Grundy. Great grab. It's Grundy on Grundy here actually. That's Jeff Grundy with the grab. Fine Grundy on defence. Goes to Kelly Martin, back to Graf. Graf loves the offhand, decides not to throw it this time. Just goes to Kerry underneath. Goes to Chris Kaliviotis, or Toff from Melbourne. Toff had a great year last year, making it onto the Barramundies, been playing very well, and manages to avoid the streaking player coming through there. Throws with float over to the break side. Kelly Martin with the goal. 4-2 Supernova. Grundy catches, goes up to Sophie Stewart and back to Grundy. Vertical stack from the banana grabbers. Great pump fake from Brian Grundy there. Finn with a deep cut, being marked by Stefano Pazzo. You can see it over on the left side of the screen, just walking back in. Going to be coming back in with Grundy. Garfield on the mark. Grundy goes back to Sophie Stewart. He swings across to Liam Gillians, or Wetnose. Wetnose continues the movement around, breaks the mark, goes to Dan Mammal. Dan certainly not known as a thrower, other than one backhand bomb at Nationals. Usually quite content to just give it to somebody else and run again. Gillians gets thrown to by Finn, and a controversial foul call. Rapazzo says no. Rapazzo says I hit you after you dropped it. Nope. Looks like Wetnose is happy with that. Looks like he's taking it back. Yep, it's going to be Stefan's disc here. Stefan for Supernova. Chance to go up 5-2. Goes to Kath Matthews, or Coco, from Melbourne's Honey. Good contest between Finn and Toff there. Strong grab from Toff. Goes up to Abel Garfield. He's going to be looking deep, but nothing on. Goes short to Pete Allen. Deep cut here from Kirsty Greenfield, cutting for Heidi Dugvac. Garfield with the disc. Not happy with what he sees. Just recycles across to Heidi again. Dugvac being marked by Stewart, it's of the Sophie variety. Up to Allen, being marked by Mammal. They would have had that contest all season long on Firestorm. Two of the cutters on the same team there. Would be well used to seeing each other, even though they played on the O-line. So more used to connecting. Garfield throws a good shot over the open side, but Greenfield leaning down with one hand, can't make it stick. Bit of a let off for the grabbers there. Grundy goes straight across to Mammal and to Stewart. Stewart with that backhand fake that she loves so much. One of the best fakes we've got in the game, really. It's fooled a lot of defenders over a long time. Up to Spalding and then to Gillians. Gillians decides, I've hucked one already this game and it worked, let's go for two. And two is just as good as one. Nails Finn in the end zone on the break side. Money shot from Wetnose Gillians. Finn McCarthy-Adams with the goal, 4-3. Brian Grundy with the pull. Goes outside in. Lands safely in the middle of the field. Garfield scrambles to pick it up. Goes up to John Greenfield, who's still moving all right at age 60. Great catch. Goes deep to Kelly Martin. Kelly, a strong receiver, but can't bring it down that time. Mel Spalding, it's a great block. Rock bringing it up to the line, marked by Hine. Sorry Min, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, I've never really said it before. Dump to Grundy, being marked by Grundy. Brian Hucks. Brian Hucks to Mel, that's a good grab. Kerry Justice on the mark, putting on a big straight up mark to stop that disc getting way upfield. Now applying some pressure on the dump. Stewart gets away from it. Stewart really controlling things at the back for the banana grabbers. Even though he's been put under a little bit of pressure, he's generally been getting away. Huck goes up, Rock can't bring it in, it's got a little too much heat. Larson coming in there to help defend, but wasn't needed. Garfield picks up, goes across to Grundy. Greff starts to Huck. Martin does very well to attempt to get a hand on it, can't tow it in. Alex Livingston there with the cover defence to keep the pressure on. Disc is going to be coming back in. Travel's been called. Travel's been called, that disc is going back. Abe's not happy, Reese's pivot foot was too far off the line.
But my foot is right next to the line. How, like, it's a game of 10 centimetres, eh, bro?
Yeah, I wasn't marking him because he started with his foot this far in from the line.
Stories are changing a little bit here. Bit of a case of how big was the fish.
I think it's...
Doesn't really matter, the call's been made. It's going to be coming back. Reese is attempting to sort out the finer points. Whether it's the heel or the toe that matter. Big pump fake, and then goes the actual backhand Huck. Gets it around the mark, down the break side. Brian Grundy takes a great catch, going clean over the top of Kelly Martin. And throws to the end zone, hits Alex Livingston. Fantastic work there from Brian Grundy. 4-all. Grabbers tie it up with a break of their own. Reese Stewart with the pull. Grabbers jogging down. Pull is deep into the end zone. Luke Stevens with the disc from Melbourne's Chile, goes up to Stefano Pazzo. We've got Mammal on the mark. Looks like a straight up force on Stevens. Dish goes from Kath Matthews out to Stefan and up the sideline to Pete Allen. Pete being given plenty of underspace by his defender, not uncommon. One of the stronger aerial receivers in the game. Going Coco to Stefano Pazzo again. Back to Kath Matthews. Stevens with the disc. Goes to Pete Allen. There's not a lot going on upfield. Matthews with the deep cut, pulling it up. And Matthews back under. Allen elects to look it off. Throws a hammer. Saw the poached player. Gillian's gone in to prevent another cut. Rapazzo was sitting in the end zone and is happy to score that one. Steph not really known for being a big goal scorer. Prefers to be throwing them to his tall receivers, but happy to get one on the board there. Grundy up to Livingston. Little collision there. Goes through to Mammal and Grundy with the disc again. Inside out shot from Grundy to beat the defender on Finn. Finn McCarthy-Adams dishes off to Grundy. Pete Allen on the mark. Huck from Grundy. Abra with the mac. Mammal with the catch. Mammal comes down with the scraps there. Somewhat fortunate. Grabbers getting away with that one, but they're going to do their best to make the most of it. Disc with Finn McCarthy-Adams. His mark eventually gets there. Mike Larson, former Townsville player, now living in Melbourne and playing with Victoria's Chile. Grundy gets the disc on the wraparound dump. Continues it straight away to Livingston up the break side. 5-all. Supernova definitely the favoured team coming into this game. Something of a stacked line, trying to put a team together that's going to go and be competitive at the World Club Championships next year. But Grabbers doing well at the moment. After an early loss of a couple of points, they're back in the game, 5-all. Dukovac with the disc. Garfield setting up his dump, goes to Justice instead on the in-cut. Justice with the break throw, goes for Stevens. Defense could have had a chance, but got caught anyway, so they came down with their own luck after Mammal's max catch last point. Rapazzo then throws it away to no one on the hammer. Stewart looked at the pump fake to Brian Grundy going deep, decides to go across to Gillians. Gillians thinks about that backhand Huck down the break side again, puts it away this time, back to Reece Stewart. Swings across to Dave Warren. Warren up to Stewart of the Sophie variety. Sophie can't hang on to the one-hander and max it out the sideline. Rapazzo will be picking up the disc about 25 metres out. Warren on the mark, forcing backhand. Broken straight away to the dump. Abra goes through to Greff Grundy. Grundy on Grundy, great chase from Brian. Greff makes the catch. Well done Greff to save that one. Could have been an easy one for the Grabbers to get attacking the zone. And so across to Stevens now. Some speculative throws this point. A couple of receivers having to work with some floaty discs. There is a bit of wind out there. Martin now to Abel Garfield. Abel with a great shake and bake, goes up line. Fantastic hammer from Abel. Sits up beautifully in the wind. Again, saw the poach coming in open side. Went to the poach player who was sitting over in the break side of the end zone. Wonderful throw. 6-5 Supernova. Again, Grabber's happy to let that one just go at the back. We've got a zone look here from Supernova. Toff on the mark. Looks like a three-person cup. Toff and the two ladies. Great shot up to Finn McCarthy-Adams, free on the wing. Supernova managed to contain, stop it from going any further, and have managed to reset their zone. So we've got a three-man cup defence. So you can see the three up the front of the screen there, Toff and the two ladies, Kath and Min, attempting to stop the disc going up into the middle of the field. Content to let these players, the handlers, move it around at the back. Don't want them to be gaining ground easily or effectively. Stewart with the scuba, loves going over the top with that one. It's been a favourite throw in recent years. Rock goes back across the other side to Livingston. Livingston uses his height, goes over, Reece Stewart with the disc, pumps it. Spalding at the back of the end zone. Didn't really have a chance at that one. Larson closing quickly and the disc going out the back. Garfield with the huck. Goes big. Wants to throw a goal. Pete Allen chasing. Out the sideline again. Almost the exact same spot as where Kelly Martin tried to bid out earlier. Stewart runs up, brings it in. Decides not to travel this time. Swings it to Rock. Livingston, one of the taller handlers you'll see. Typically players of that size will be pushing further upfield. But Alex has been working a lot on his throwing game. Playing in that position a lot for the Cobras, his men's league team in the Brisbane League. Forces his way through a bit of a physical mark from Toff. Goes to Stewart, who goes up to Rock in the middle of the field. Rock goes over the top with the hammer. Not very advisable. It's usually not going to work against Pete Allen with that much float. It's been caught up by the wind too much. Mike Larson picks up the disc. Finn, big active mark. Larson goes up to Calaviotis, goes to Matthews in the middle of the field. Rock on the mark. Garfield with the disc mark by Mammal. Vertical stack as both teams have been playing really all game. Justice goes up to Garfield, back to Justice, still unmarked. Banana grabbers really get away with one there. Kath Matthews overthrows Min on the break side, but they give it straight back. Toff puts pressure on the scuba. Reece through it, throws a tough one, Rock can't bring it in. Toff picks up the disc and goes straight to an unmarked Abel Garfield. A little bit slack there from the grabbers, just gave away an easy one. 7-5 to Supernova. Stewart goes to Livingston, back to Stewart, back to Livingston. Just bouncing around a little bit. A bit of an old and young matchup going on there. Alex Livingston, marked by John Greenfield. Probably about 25 years age gap between those. While that's happening, Grundy is hucked to Reece Stewart. Reece going to the end zone. Decides that he doesn't like the idea of laying out and he's a handler. That's somebody else's job. Greenfield throws a great break throw to Kelly Martin, who can't bring it in. Just muffs the catch. He won't be happy with herself on that. Stewart goes around looking for the honey pass to Jordana Rock. Great closing speed from Pete Allen to stop that one. Take it away. Looks like we have a travel call here. Stewart decides that if he can have it called on him, he can call on someone else. Nope, changed his mind. Decides that he's okay with it. He just wanted to say it, just like the word. Greenfield has thrown it to Grundy, and with Grundy it'll stay. So Jeff Grundy here of Slamtown. Pretty much on his end zone line, near the middle of the field, dumps off to Greenfield and back to Grundy. Kelly Martin gets looked off, she's drifting back up out of bounds. Great inside out break from Jeff Grundy. Stevens goes upfield to Kelly Martin. Kelly floats it up in the end zone, looking for Heidi. Throw it up to the tall girl, it's usually effective. Rock makes a valiant effort, but can't get close to that height. Supernova take half, 8-5. Second half action now. Grundy with the disc, goes upfield. We've got Larson picking up the disc, centering to Grundy, goes across to John Greenfield. Greenfield been playing the game about as long as many of these people have been alive. Goes upfield to Kelly Martin. Breaks the mark across to the middle of the field to Kath Matthews. Dishes up to Grundy. Banana Grab is really on the back foot in this point. Right, Banana Grab is really just chasing their players there. And Calaviotis looks off Matthews, goes easy to Justice in the end zone. Goal 9-5 to Supernova. Grabbers going to need to pick up their intensity to get back into this game. Pull from Luke Stevens, drifting out of bounds. Grabbers are going to be taking a brick. Brick mark in the middle of the field, 18 metres up. Stewart picks it up and immediately goes to the end zone. Great grab from Brian Grundy. Pete Allen, not an easy man to sky over. Grundy's done well to hold this position. And now great end zone defence from Supernova again. Happened a number of times that the Banana Grabbers have caught a huck and then been put under pressure straight away. Grundy managed to find Yuli Heap in the end zone. 9-6, Grabbers back on the scoreboard.
I did answer that. Did you? Yeah.
Garfield catches the ball, goes up to Stefano Pazzo, back to Garfield. Happening a lot on these receptions. Getting a little 1-2 on the catch of the pull. Kath Matthews with the disc. Moves upfield to Kelly Martin. Tough to know which way the Banana Grabbers are forcing. Disc is really going to both sides of the players. But great intercept from Brian Grundy. Goes Stewart to lock and across to wet nose Liam Gillians. Goes up to Finn McCarthy. Pace of the game has definitely slowed a little bit from earlier on. I'm seeing that Garfield and Stewart match up at the back of the field. It's been happening all game long. Grundy goes upfield to a very open Gillians. Gillians looking around, not happy with what he sees. Brian Grundy with the free cut into the end zone. Overthrow from Gillians. Finn McCarthy-Adams cleans up. A little bit fortunate to come away with that one, but the Grabbers will take the goal. 9-7. That outside end pull has been a favourite going down that direction. Both teams content to let the disc bounce. A little bit of wind means that the disc is going to be moving in the air. It's going to be tough to be confident in that catch. Happier just to let it hit the ground. Supernova just a couple of passes around between their handlers. Greenfield with the disc. Goes to Garfield. Marked by Stewart again. Garfield throws high. Grundy in with a great D. Couple of blocks in this game from Brian Grundy. He's done very well there. Playing very well for his team. Stewart goes up line to rock. Well covered. Dukovac gets the hand in there, gets the block. Larson decides it's his turn to take a shot. Did have Abel Garfield going there, but just too much on that one. Garfield no chance to get to it. Turnover straight away at the end zone here. Miscommunication potentially between Stewart and his cutter. Goes straight to Pete Allen. Supernova holds on to it for a moment. Just too many options. Goes up to Kerry Justice for the goal. 10-7 to Supernova. Graf Grundy with the pull. Best moustache in Australian Ultimate. Low and flat and hard. Again, happy to let the pull land. Grundy goes up to Stewart and back to Grundy. We've got this zone defense again from Supernova. Toff on the disc. Going to be always marking and forcing to one side or the other. Looks like he's in a forehand force at the moment. Spalding gets the disc through the middle of the field, out to Livingston, up to Sophie Stewart. Comfortable swing across. Grabbers slowed the pace of the game down. Unfortunately, Grundy slows the pace of his throw too much, and the other Grundy manages to get in there. Graf with a great layout block. Luke Stevens will be picking up the disc here, about halfway up the field on the backhand sideline. Goes straight to the middle of the field to Calaviotis, swings across to Larson. Larson pumps it, looking for Kath Matthews in the end zone, just a little bit too much on it. We've seen that disc float out that side a couple of times today. Players haven't quite calibrated for the wind. Grabbers a little bit lucky to get away with one there. Stevens might have had a chance if he'd seen that step earlier. Gillians with the safe grab underneath though. Another floaty disc across the field. Wing comes in again. Larson coming in all the way on that one and letting the disc go past him to Jordana Rock. Rock goes across field again. It's just a big battle of who can throw the biggest cross-field shot now. Gillians goes across the middle of the end zone. Two Banana Grabbers decide they don't want it. Almost gives Kath Matthews a chance to get the D. In the end, catch the goal. Decide they don't really want to turn it over at the end zone. And it's 10-8. Big floaty outside in pull. Greenfield takes the catch this time. Doesn't let it hit. To Garfield, then to Apazzo. Banana Grabbers in a zone of their own. We have a puppy fence or a pommy zone here. Dave Warren's going to be on the mark with his visor. Going to be always trying to force the disc to a sideline. He's going to have three girls in front of him in the way. However, As soon as Supernova got past it, they went to the end zone, never really got a chance to settle. Finn McCarthy-Adams cleans up deep. Great block. Mel Spalding with the disc now. Garfield and Stewart again, putting a lot of pressure on their primary handler matchup. Stewart gets away with it. Count must have been on about 18 by then. Stewart puts up the huck. Pete Allen in the area. Livingston can't get there. Greenfield brings it back in, goes straight to Aber. Aber puts a little bit of extra float on it, but plenty of time for his receiver to get there. Rapazzo at the other end. Not really much pressure coming on from this defence here. At the moment, Supernova's really just doing what they want. Taking shots wherever they want, and even though they're throwing some ugly things over at Stefan on this wing, plenty of time to grab it. No real pressure there. Kelly Martin with the disc up to John Greenfield. Just every pass taking a few metres away from the grabbers. You can see here, the Banana Grabbers defence is really never getting a chance to set. It's tracking back and forth across the field, while not really putting on an effective mark, which is making him run a lot more than he'd like. If he can manage to push the disc to the sideline effectively and contain it and stop it getting away, he's going to find himself in a much better position. And here we go, he's managed to slow the game down a little bit there, more effective, but wing gives up a pass to Pete Allen. Allen with the disc, about 10 metres out of the end zone, backhand sideline. Throws the flick dump to Aber, to Greenfield in the middle of the field. Defence is scrambling. Supernova just taking the easy passes at the moment. Travel's been called. A travel called when the thrower hasn't thrown the disc is not a stoppage. So you can see there John Greenfield just resetting his foot and still playing. Sneaks into the end zone there. Wisdom of experience, recognises that that's an easy spot to get a pass. Undefended area of the field, goal. 11-8 to Supernova. Grundy picks up the pull. Throws a bit of swill. Fortunately, the defence hadn't come down yet, so he had the chance to get away with it. Grundy with a forehand huck, goes to Mammal. That connection's worked for them all season. Cobra's teammates there. This team, in fact, with very much a Cobra core. All of the males on the team from the Cobras in the Thursday night competition. Reece Stewart goes around with the high bladey backhand. Mel Spalding brings it in just inside the line. No video ref needed, 11-9. Halibut this year saw 18 teams, about 260 players, easily the biggest Halibut ever, and up there with the bigger tournaments held in Australia. So congratulations to Sam Peters and Mile Hingy, organisers. Got a call here. Greenfield wasn't happy about something on the defence there. Greenfield looks to huck, decides to look off Pete Allen. Goes to Garfield. Garfield, a lovely balanced inside-out throw. Kelly Martin with the disc. Throws that forehand into the end zone, looking for Justice or Dukovac. And there's very much height on the side of Supernova there. Two girls, both around 6 foot tall. And that's too much for their defenders. Supernova, a little bit too strong for the grabbers on this occasion. For mine, I would say Brian Grundy, one of the stronger players. For Supernova, quite a team effort. Done very well to distribute that around. They're going to be a force at the upcoming Mixed National Championships in Canberra. Thanks for watching, guys.